Okay, there you can see the screws are in. I don't have the nuts on the back yet, but we're just lining it up with the card. And then the next step is we have to take off some of this down here because it's too long. Okay, so now you see why we didn't pick really big nuts, because we want to have those just to the point where they're almost flush, but still buried in there a little bit. Now the next part is the whole thing can't be longer than this, right? So the idea is that what we're going to do is we're going to put it in there, make sure it fits, first of all, and then second of all, figure out how much we have to cut off. I suspect that that cut is going to go right about through the 1, or the A, the I in Air Force. But we'll see. Oh, I'm sorry, I was a little bit off camera there. So the idea being it can't be any longer than this, because otherwise it'll stick out of the slot. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a test fit here. So I don't have the mSATA card on there yet, but you can see how it's going to go. And it just pushes right in. And you can see about how much too long it is. So I think if we take off right by the I in the Air Force there, we'll be all right. And yeah, that's solid in there. What you want to do is lay it on a flat surface and make sure that it's straight up and down, and then you can see where you have to cut, because you don't want it to stick out, because otherwise the cover won't fit. So we have to actually go just right about straight through the middle of the R. Done is figured out where my line had to be, and I did a Sharpie line across, so I'm going to cut it with scissors. Okay, so there's kind of what it looks like when it's all done, minus the mSATA card. One last thing we want to add is a little bit of a tape loop here at the bottom, like I've done with this drive, to be able to pull it out of the slot a little bit more easily. So we'll do that now. So there is the finished product, minus the actual mSATA card. But let's plug it in here and see if it fits. So into the slot we go. I gotta get it closer to the edge here. It doesn't want to go in. There we go. Just like that. And then the cover goes over the top of it. Okay, let's put the mSATA card on it and see if it boots. Okay, one thing I thought of as I was putting this together, this particular mSATA card is not an issue, but you might want to take and put some tape over the top of those 2 screw heads there, machine screw heads, just so there's no possibility of anything on the bottom of the card shorting with those. So we're going to do that now. It tapes on. One thing I should mention, when you mount this in here, you want to check that when you have it installed and tightened down, that the card's not being bent. Because I've seen that happen on a couple of these, but this particular card fits perfectly. The card's mounted. One thing you want to check when you get it all done, again, make sure there's no bowing of the card. You can see there's some air under there. It's not making contact anywhere. It's kind of harder to see from this side. But that tape over the screw heads, that's probably a good idea. But yeah, the main thing is that the card is flat. Now, we put it in. And it's like almost zero insertion force. There it is. And then you just fold this up and put the cover on it. Let's see if it boots. Okay, let's go ahead and see if it boots up here. Yeah, making good sounds. Takes a couple of seconds to get through the BIOS boot sequence on this model. Not sure why, but there it goes. And there we go. And I should mention, boot times with one of these little cards is way down from a spinning hard drive. We're going to have a boot screen here pretty shortly where we'd be waiting about a minute or so if we're using a conventional spinning hard drive. But hope you enjoyed this video. You do this at your own risk. If you get hurt using razor blades or drill bits, that risk is on you. I can only suggest. I can't make you do this stuff. But hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it's useful to you. A couple of the tools I did forget to mention at the beginning. One of them was a file and a screwdriver, or a pair of scissors. But at any rate, hope you enjoyed this, and let me know. And give me a like at the bottom if you thought this was a good video, or constructive comments are always appreciated. Thank you, and have a good evening.